In this video, we're gonna take a closer look at the full story of Stitch.
Family.
You don't have one. I made you.
Maybe
You're built to destroy. You can never belong.
Let's start right at the beginning, with where he comes from. He wasn't just born like a normal creature, he was actually made in a lab. He was created with one main purpose, to cause destruction. That's the whole reason he exists. A scientist named Jumba designed him as Experiment 626, which means he was meant to be this unstoppable force of chaos. Stitch is super strong, almost impossible to break, and his brain is wired for sabotage and messing things up. But here's what's really interesting: even before he ever became a good guy, something important was missing in him. Because he was made in a lab, no one ever raised him with love or care. He wasn't nurtured or taught how to understand feelings or empathy. He was just built and then immediately treated like a dangerous threat. From the very moment he came to life, the universe saw him as something bad. He didn't even get a chance to learn who he was, or what he could be before being locked away and pushed aside. This detail is really key to understanding his whole story. Stitch wasn't evil by nature, he was just lost. His entire existence is about trying to figure out who he really is. Even though he was made for destruction, deep down he feels something completely different. His journey is about discovering that he can be more than what he was created to be. When he finally crash-landed on Earth and first met Lilo, it's really important to understand that he didn't just magically become a good guy or a softie right away. Not at all. He was still acting exactly the way he was designed to, being aggressive, doing whatever he wanted without thinking about others, and even trying to manipulate situations to his advantage. He was definitely being destructive, just like he was built to be. However, it's not like he was truly a villain with malicious intent. The truth is, he simply didn't understand what love was, or what it meant to have a home and a family, because he had never experienced any of that in his entire existence. For most of his life, he was constantly told he was a monster, a creature that couldn't change, end of story. But then something amazing happened. Being around Lilo and her older sister Nani gave him something he had never ever had before. He got to see an example of love that wasn't conditional or demanding of perfection. He watched how Nani, despite all her struggles, sacrificed everything she had and worked incredibly hard to keep her little family together. He saw Lilo, a small child, accept him completely, even when he was at his very worst and causing all sorts of trouble. She didn't judge him, instead, she openly called him family. And slowly, bit by bit, he started to genuinely want to be worthy of that kind of unconditional acceptance and love. His whole journey from that point on is about him facing his true nature, the destructive programming he was born with, and making a conscious choice that it doesn't have to define him. He wasn't destined to be just a destructive experiment forever. He learns incredibly important things like self-control, which is huge for someone made for chaos. He also starts to develop empathy, beginning to understand and share the feelings of others. But more than anything else, the biggest lesson he learns is how to care about someone else, Lilo, Nani, and even himself more than he cares about his own needs or destructive impulses. It's truly a beautiful and profound character transformation to witness.
this is my family. I found it all on my own. It's little and broken, but still good. Yeah, still good.
He goes from being a purely destructive force to a creature capable of immense love and belonging. The thing about him is that he's not just one simple thing. He's not a dog, even though he sometimes acts like one. He's not just any alien either, and he definitely isn't simply the scary monster that Jumba created in the lab. He's also not the perfect pet that Lilo imagined or hoped for. Instead, Stitch is kind of all of these things rolled into one, and more. He's somewhere in the middle of all these identities, working to figure out who he really is and creating something completely new from all those pieces. That's exactly why his story touches so many people's hearts. It's about someone who started off as a weapon, a dangerous creature built only for destruction, but who changes and grows into a protector who cares deeply about his new family. His journey is about going from being chaos itself to becoming part of a loving, supportive ohana, which means family. It's a powerful transformation that shows how even someone made to be a monster can find a place where they belong and become something wonderful.